we got probably the biggest game in the MIAA this weekend, this season. This is an absolutely massive game between Alma and Adrian. I do think you could maybe talk about like Hope and Adrian, maybe Hope and Alma. Especially Hope and Alma, I think you could say maybe at that point, but for the stakes that this game truly means for both of these teams, I think this is the biggest game that we have seen this year because this is a game that will decide the MIAA. If Alma wins this game, they win the MIAA outright. If Adrian wins this game, we have a three-way tie for the MIAA. And this is a real possibility that Adrian needs this game. They absolutely do to even have a chance to get into the playoffs. This is that big. Like, this is between two teams that have been great this year. This is a game between two teams defensively that has been stout. This is a game between two teams offensively that they have playmakers at the wide receiver position, they have playmakers at the quarterback position, they have playmakers at the running back position. This is a game that's going to be at Alma, and I think you're going to see an absolutely raucous crowd. It is Alma's last game at home, most likely. I would be shocked or I'll be a little bit surprised if they hosted home field in the playoffs. Maybe there's a chance if they end up winning this game. But this is a game between coaching staffs, between players. This is a game that you need to win. And this is a game that truly will be defiant on how these seasons go. And I think you have an Alma offense that is a very high pace, very explosive, very good at handling pressure, and a team that understands what it's like to be in close games. Versus an Adrian defense that has been pretty good this year at not only stopping the pass, but also stopping the run. They're definitely, in my opinion, better in the secondary, but this is an Alma offense that is going to be unlike anything that they've seen this year. And I don't want to say that specifically because I believe Hope's offense is right there. And I think this is an Adrian team that obviously against Hope did a very good job stopping it, preventing Hope from scoring a lot of points. I don't know if the tempo for Hope is as fast as it is for Alma, but it's a real possibility that this is a pretty similar game to what Adrian and Hope was. And I do think a little bit had to do with playing at Adrian, but I don't want to discredit Adrian whatsoever because this is an Adrian team that started out this year with an absolutely massive win. They've only lost one game that they could have very much won, and this could have been a game legitimately for which team is going to win the MIAA outright. It's not necessarily that, but like Alma can still win this outright. Adrian can win a tie of it. And you know how massive that would be for Adrian, especially with the second year of this coaching staff? Coach Pelka has been great since coming to Adrian. You also have Coach Couch that has won a ton since being at Alma. This is going to be an absolute massive battle. Like, this is how excited I am for this. Like, this is going to be so much fun. You got two very physical teams. You got two teams that match up very well against each other. And you got two teams that understand what it's like to have close, contested games, to have games that didn't go your way. And this is the type of game that you truly want at the end of the season. A game that matters. And this is a game that absolutely matters. You have guys that have stepped up all year long for both teams. I've mentioned them. You have Alma offensively, Carter St. John, Eddie Williams, Sam Couch, Zach Paugh, Brock Miller, TJ Sealer has been stepping up recently as well. Defensively, I've talked about them as well. Jet King, Ryan Kugelman. I've talked about multiple other guys on the defensive side of the ball that has had great years for Alma. You look at what Adrian has. You have Noah Boudreaux. You have Ethan Aberger. You have Braden Whitaker, Ryan Brumley. Defensively, you have Liam Carey, Bennett Guild, Maddox Woods, Ethan Burrows, Tim Simmons. You have offensive lines that can block. You have offensive lines that have done a decent job of protection, of run blocking. You have so many guys with these teams that have been so consistent, that has been so productive. You have veteran leaders at the quarterback position that has won at every step that they have been in. And you have coaching staffs that have figured out ways to win. That's why I'm not entirely sure of which way I want to go in this game, because Alma has been the one team this year that I've gone against at least once that have proved me wrong. I went against Alma against Hope. Alma ended up winning that game. Obviously, a little controversial ending. I've talked about that. Won't talk about that anymore. You have Adrian. I've went against Adrian once, and that was a Hope game. And Hope did win that game. I've also talked about the importance of the home field advantage. And Alma is at home in this one. And the one time I went against Alma, I was wrong. So you would think that would go against Adrian, right? I'm honestly not entirely sure. I think this is going to be a game that is going to come down to the very end. I think this is going to be a one-possession game. I think it's going to be about the team that makes the mistake in this game that costs them the end, or at least a possession. I think this might be a very, very low-scoring game. I think this is going to be a probably very similar game that comes down to the very end, like Hope and Adrian. End up maybe kicking a field goal, scoring a late touchdown. I think it's going to be a game about whose guy steps up the most, who's going to be the consistent guys, who's going to be the playmakers. What can Alma do against Ethan Aberger and Braden Whitaker? What can Adrian do against Eddie Williams, Sam Couch, Brock Miller, Zach Poff, Carter St. John? Carter St. John, preseason second-team All-American. He's a guy that wins a whole ton, especially at home. This is going to be probably his last home game. Is he going to go out? Is this Alma team going to go out and into the playoffs with a loss? And honestly, this is tough to say, but I think Adrian wins this game. I think Adrian goes into Alma and gets the win. And I don't think that is a discredit to Alma whatsoever. Alma's going to be in the playoffs. Alma wants to win their last game. But the real reason why I'm going on Adrian is because I believe Adrian has more to lose. And I don't want to say Alma has nothing to lose. They do. They want to win an outright MIAA championship. They have a lot to play for. I think this is Alma team that can very much win this game. And I think if they do, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't picked against them very often. And the reason why I'm going with Adrian is because if Adrian wants any chance at all to get into the playoffs, slight chance, I think I saw like a 30% chance, they need to win this game. And I think because of that in itself, I think Adrian pulls off the upset at Alma. But like I said, I've been wrong before. I'm not picking against Alma because I doubt them. I don't. If you want to talk about one of their biggest fans, that's me. Like, I love Hope. I love Alma. I love Adrian. This is not no love to any of those teams. I have to make a decision. I made the decision. I'm going to live by that decision. And whatever happens in this game, I'll talk about in a recap. And I will say I'm wrong. And at that point, I'm going to guarantee you I'm never picking against this Alma team if they end up winning this game. Because they would prove me 2 times I was wrong, and at that point, I rightfully deserve to be wrong. But I'm backing Adrian in this one. And that's not me not cheering for Alma whatsoever. I'll be cheering for both of these teams. I truly hope this is going to be an elite football game. I definitely think it will be. I want a fun football game. I want a safe football game. I want no injuries. I want these teams to have fun. I want physicality. And I think we're going to get that in this game. Just, I had to make a prediction. And in my heart of hearts, I don't know why, but I have Adrian winning this game. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I won't be afraid to admit it. But good luck to Alma. Good luck to Adrian. Appreciate both of those teams. They've been super supportive. I truly hope that there was a possibility that this game could end in a tie. Because if it would be, that's the way I would want it to be. But unfortunately, one team has to win. And I'm going to talk about this game. And I'm really, really excited to see who wins this game. Because I think it's going to be a real fun game at the end of the day. But congratulations to either team that wins. I'll obviously recap it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to tune into the recap as well. I'll definitely talk about this game, but make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. And good luck to Alma and Adrian this weekend.